Hey everybody, it is episode 336.
Dehydrated and defeated. Hey everybody, welcome back to the Prime Podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Skip Wyss. Looking radiant myself today in my favorite shirt, running with the Paisleys and animals. I figured I would wear
really
animal today.
see that, I don't think, on the...
Well, they got to tune into YouTube and check it out because it's a fly shirt.
Zoom in.
One of my favorites. One of my favorites.
Good one.
I always get a lot of comments. I'm surprised by how many men like Paisley, like Paisley prints. There's a lot of guys out there that like them. Makes sense with all the handkerchiefs my dad and grandpa used to have back in the 80s.
I think that was the only option.
Paisley's was a big deal. You look great in your stripes today. You look very pretty.
Thanks.
Very, very pretty. Very Door County.
It's summertime.
Yep, it's summertime.
Are we going on a trip?
Maybe we're going to take a trip down dehydration lane here and talk about hydration with kids and how it impacts their spinal health, because super important topic to talk about, because this is the time of year where your kids get extremely dehydrated. And even when it's decent out, 75, 80 degrees and not super hot, hydration generally is not at the tip of your tongue, for lack of a better thing here. Hydration is one of those things that we do hold in the back of our minds, but for our kids and stuff, we're not really that conscientious of it.
I think unless maybe they're in sports or you've maybe begun a habit of your kids always making sure that they're hydrated or always having a water bottle available. Yeah, I mean, it's split for our kids. You know, like one of them always has to have the water bottle and drinks, probably 6 to 8 of them a day. And then the other just drinks it, but likes it more in like a seltzer type of a water or a bubbly water.
Yeah, he's like his dad.
Yes.
I do not like drinking plain water. It's very hard for me. I just don't.
So I think that's a really great, I think that's where you can talk about the importance, but I think let's talk first about how we can make water more readily available, but then also more flavorful to want to drink.
Yeah, I think that is the biggest kicker right off the bat. Like I personally, I'll drink water, like if it's water bottle, stuff like that. Like if I got to get it in, I'll get it in. But man, to just drink water, no way. I honestly hate it. I can't stand it. I really can't. Because depending on where you're getting it from, the flavor's always different. It's not consistent. So sometimes it tastes like a plastic pipe. Other times it tastes very metally. Sometimes it tastes like chlorine. Like you don't know where to get it from, and it tastes like crap.
Well, I like a spring water because then it's from the spring. You get some little vitamins and minerals along with it. At home, we have RO water, reverse osmosis water. So it's, super clean. It's got everything taken out of it. So then we can just put in our sea salt to make sure that we drink it. But that's the act of we need to just make sure that we drink it. Right.
And to me, what can we do to actually get it in our body and make it feel like it's actually a treat? To me, that's important. I don't like doing things just to do them. I like it to have a purpose. I like it to, I'm a child, so I like it to fulfill my area of reward in my brain. And how can we trigger those areas to make sure that my brain feels that way? That's a big one. And I know that might be a little bit sticker. I need a sticker. I'm wearing a damn gold sticker. But it's a big thing for me.
Yep.
And I find that the more I flavor my waters or put things into them, the more I'm going to consume them. The more I'm going to find it more refreshing, the more I'm going to like it. It's going to take my mind off of wanting to eat instead of drink, which is a big thing, in getting it in. So I find that I'm the perfect candidate for picky drinkers.
Absolutely.
Yep.
So that's also why then we have invested in different flavor drops.
Yep.
So we can flavor our water.
Yep.
I make sure that so I mean, stevia, truvia,
Monk
all those
fruit.
different monk fruits. But you also need to make sure you need to be looking at the sugar content that's in them.
Yep.
If there's still artificial colors and dyes that's added to them. Because again, not everything is equal. We want to drink the water, but then it's the lesser of the evil, but we still want to make sure that it's still a decent type of a flavoring that we're putting into that. Outside of that, you can actually just take like the peach or a cherry, strawberries, and you can muddle those in the water. I know that there's different water bottles that you can put.
They have infusers in them.
Have the infuser so you can put the fruit and things in there. But it's also kind of nice, having that in your water bottle, lemon, lime. But if you ever go to a hotel and maybe like the kids aren't thirsty, but then they see this nice jug or like their water dispenser, and then it has the fruit floating in it, it makes it feel a little bit more special.
Yeah.
And so like I urge you, if you have the trouble with having the water drinkers at home, make the investment, but get the water dispenser, set it on the countertop or, next to the coffee maker, wherever that it's easily visible, and just plop your fruit in that for the day, and maybe have it as a goal for the family that, okay, we need to drink this dispenser, empty for the day, and then the next day we get to make a new flavor.
That's cool.
That keeps everybody from the whole family drinking, but then it also feels fancy when you have the fruit in there and you get to see it and you get to use the fun dispenser. Some kids really just like to have their own water bottle. So then maybe they get a special water bottle during the summer that, has a diffuser or not. Maybe it's a clear one with the rubber coating on the outside. If it's glass, make sure we're, drinking out of glass or a really good
stainless
steel type of a water bottle. We don't want the plastics. If it sits in the car, right, all that stuff is going to leach into the water, defeating the whole purpose of what we're trying to do. But putting those fruits and things in it and let them muddle it up and see what flavors that they like. Some mint, some basil in there. It really just gives a different, I wasn't expecting that when you drink it.
It's not just
freeze
plain water.
The other, you could take your ice cube tray when you make your ice cubes, and you can freeze your fruit and things inside the ice cube trays, and then you're plopping that into your water. So then it looks pretty, but then you're also getting those flavors and things throughout the day as well.
I find that all of that is actually a good way to mess with my brain and make me drink water. You've done a really good job of that. I personally like drinking sparkling water, which doesn't necessarily transfer over to children. Children may not like the bubbles, especially like if they haven't been raised on soda and fizzy things. They don't like that flavor. Sparkling water, sparkling mineral water is a flavor that you have to get used to. It's definitely not like normal water. There is a definite change in how it hits the palate.
The bubbles.
Yep, the bubbles. It just tastes different. I personally like it a lot. But I like putting in the sweet drops is what they're called. It's a stevia-based drop, but you can get them in vanilla, root beer, raspberry, multi-berry,
berries,
chocolate,
lemon, lemonade.
Yep, and that actually adds to the flavor of them, and they taste amazing. And you like. It doesn't even feel like you're not drinking sodas. The other thing is Zevia. Zevia is another one that's actually, it's canned, it's aluminum, it's a soda substitute if you want to call it, but it's flavored with stevia. There's no artificial flavors in it. There's some caffeine depending on which one you're drinking. That one is really good, low calorie, hydrates you really, really well. I would stay away from the ones from caffeine, though. I'd stay away from them if you're trying to hydrate, because that is a diuretic. It's going to make you want to pee more.
I was going to say, you said Zevia. Like, that is kind of like when we see the kids now, Bubbler has become very, very popular.
Bubbler is really bad for you.
So, and a lot of them are caffeinated, and which I didn't. I wasn't aware. And when we see our kids also drinking that, we're thinking, oh, great, they're drinking a sparkling water.
Yep.
There's antioxidants and all these other things in there. And what's the poopy drink or the poppy? There's so many of these new seltzer. It looks like it's terrible advertising. It looks like
Poppy's for men.
Poppy is for pooping. So that's
Yep.
why I think poppy poopy.
Yep.
But there's so many of these new seltzer drinks and canned drinks that it's becoming a fad to want to drink them. But we have to be cognizant of some of them do carry a lot of additional caffeine in them,
Yep.
even when some of them may not. There's a new flavor that has caffeine, so to always be watching for those things too.
Bubbler has 300 milligrams of caffeine in it.
Yeah.
And most kids, especially in high school, they're drinking like 2 or 3 bubblers a day. That's the equivalent of 4 to 6 cups of coffee a day. Like, it's a lot of caffeine. You have to be careful with that. And the thing is with bubbler is it's small.
Right.
It's a taller can, but it's thin. So there's not
Easy
a lot
to grab,
of
right?
there's
That's good
yes, and
marketing.
there's not a lot of liquid there. As per say 20 ounces or 30 ounces of water. It's I think it's 14 ounces in a can, or maybe 12 and a half. Like, it's not a lot. So it's not hydrating their palate that much either, or their body. So that caffeine's pushing it out. So yes, be careful. Poppy's not bad. It's a ferment. It's got and probiotics and stuff like that in it.
Poppy is good for pooping.
Yep, poppy helps the bowel out some. Yes, you are correct. Also, when we're trying to hydrate children, one of the biggest signs of dehydration is excess hunger, not excess thirst, excess hunger. If your child is always hungry, always wants to eat, can't seem to really tire their stomach out, chances are they're extremely dehydrated. And I can tell you that from myself, where when I'm not drinking a lot of water, I'm always feeling like I need to eat, need to snack. And that's my body looking to get hydration through other sources. And that is not okay. So your body, the fullness comes from your stomach. You need to put water in, like they're dehydrated. And usually when they're dehydrated, they're constipated. You're talking about Poppy, right? So usually they're dehydrated. So if we can get hydration up, that will increase bowels, and that will help hydrate. Some of our parents will say, well, I don't want my kids super hydrated because they deal with bedwetting issues. Bedwetting issues is generally neurological. We don't have the right communication between the pelvis and the bladder. Therefore, the brain can't control the bladder. So we're having bedwetting. That's usually what it is. But other times, it's correlated with constipation because the bowel's pushing on the bladder, causing nocturnal uresis, right? It's causing bedwetting. But the contraindication to that, or the contradiction, or the contrarian aspect of that, is that if we actually have a well-hydrated kid, the chance of them urinating the bed is actually decreased because their bowel is moving more through, therefore they're not having the pressure on their bladder. And if they're adjusted, the bowel is working even better, and that allows the sphincter that keeps the bladder shut to stay shut and only work on voluntary command. So you can see how everything kind of, if you kind of just go contrarian to common thought, the solution's there.
Right. And I was just thinking, I brought this in with me today. Like, and this looks like it's a juice, but this is another way to hydrate as well. So Fun is a really good electrolyte drink. So I think lots of times if kids are in sports, the thing is, okay, let's get the Gatorade, the Powerade, or like when we're sick, like those are the things that we're reaching for to fill in the gaps for the electrolytes. All of those things are chock full of sugars and these colors, which defeats the whole purpose of, again, what we're trying to do. And so Fun is a really simple electrolyte, comes in a powder form, and you're just adding it to your water. Makes it taste good, but it also helps to, gets you to be able to drink your fluids.
It breaks down to about $1 a serving?
Yeah, you can get a whole bag, and that's if you don't want a lot sweet. Again, if we're just looking for a little bit of that flavor, you don't need. You can just figure out how much.
It's way cheaper than the $3 bottle of Gatorade.
Correct.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like, it's in it, and you can put it in 40 ounces of water and have it really diluted down, but it's extremely effective. Correct. I love drinking Fun, the electrolyte drinks we have. There's other ones out there that are effective as well, but this one's great. The flavor is awesome. You can get it in raspberry, you can get it in lemon and lime. Like, it's really good. And also, there are vitamin C drinks you can use too to help hydrate. So we can be bringing vitamin C into our bodies too this time of year to help bolster our immune systems and give us a good buildup. Helps with connective tissue, helps with your veins. Vitamin C is extremely important for heart health, and you can be putting these things in your waters. So as you're hydrating, it's not dehydrating, number one, but number two, it's giving you a secondary effect. Now, also with hydration, there's a lot of talk about sea salt. Celtic sea salt, pink Himalayan sea salt, and why we need that to help hydrate. Do you want to come talk about that a
Well, I
little
was
bit?
like, I saw it back out on the counter again. Like that's
Mm-hmm.
it's really great to start your day with that because if we are overhydrating, sometimes we're missing, or if our water is fluorinated or chlorinated or some of the RO water, right, we're missing those trace minerals that our
Mm-hmm.
body actually needs. And so then again, just like when we talk about pregnancy, our babies are going to leach everything from the mom. Our body is looking for those minerals and it's going to start to take it from our bones. Right. So if we need to make sure that we are getting those vitamins, those minerals in our food, in our daily supplements, and the things that we're drinking, so that it's not depleting our body elsewhere.
Yeah,
So
because
that's where sea salt would be is really important underneath your tongue in the morning or in your water.
in your water, and it's a pinch. It's like half of a teaspoon
Mhm.
in 12 ounces of water. It could even be 8 ounces. You just gotta slam it back. It's not over salty, but it gives you those basically 91 minerals that your body
Mhm.
needs. Because let's be honest, nobody really concentrates on this, but the way we've industrialized farming, we've destroyed our topsoil. So a lot of these essential minerals that would come to us through our vegetables and fruit, they aren't coming to us in our vegetables and fruit. And sea salt is one of those things that still isn't disrupted and you can still use it well. You want to be careful. Like pink Himalayan is great, but check and see where it's processed. There can be heavy metals like aluminum in that. So we want to be careful with that. Celtic sea salt is one. You'll see people online. You'll see some pretty large health gurus online talking about different companies that make a sea salt. But sea salt isn't that expensive and it can last you a very long time.
But again, like you brought up the companies, it's not everything is created equal, right? So you
Mm-hmm.
can go to the store, you can find probably 4 to 5 different, probably 40 to 50 different varieties of
Mm-hmm.
sea salt. But you really just need to turn it over, look at how it's processed. If you have questions on like what are reputable companies, look up the companies. Otherwise, reach out and ask. We're happy to help with that. But just it's part of the problem is okay, we need to get this, and then okay, which one is the good thing? And we understand that can be super difficult to navigate. But if you're going to do that step, let's just make sure it's the right product.
Yeah, and it's a good step to making, like you'll see these things online too about like at home Gatorades. You will
Yeah.
see them make these things at home with salt and different things. But how do you know that you're getting ample salt in salinity in the water? That's something key. Well, this is actually how you do it. So you take a quart jar of water, distilled or RO, and then you add salt in and let it sit to the bottom and keep swooshing it around. This is a full jar. And then as that's absorbed, you add more salt. Swoosh it around, it absorbs, add more salt. Swoosh it around, it absorbs. And until you can get some salt crystals on the bottom that don't get absorbed, your water is not salty enough. Now, I'm not telling you to then drink that water. That is what you add to your water. You dilute it out. So
Oh,
then you take, what's that?
sorry. Yep.
No, I'm sorry. What did you say?
No, it's like you're alkalizing the water.
Yeah, you're changing the way the water is, and
pH.
then what you're doing then is you literally take a tablespoon of that water that you created, that heavy salty water that's fully salinated, and then you add that to 10 ounces of drinking water. That will give you the perfect amount, but you have to get your water salinated. And the only way to do that is to add it, swish it,
Right.
till the water can't take any more salt because it'll suck it in. And then what happens then is your cells in your body pull that water in and start to hydrate and mineralize. And that's the perfect way to do it. And your kids will do it and they love it. And if you flavor it, they're all over it.
So they don't even know. It's like hiding the
Mm-hmm.
spinach in a smoothie, right?
Because they drink Gatorade, they drink All
Yeah.
Sport, they drink these crap drinks that are out there that really hurt their kidneys. Same thing too is Celsius is another one. Like there's been study after study showed Celsius in causing kidney stones and major gallbladder issues with chronic drinking of Celsius. And it's well known. Bubbler's going to end up being like that too. These things, they wreak havoc on your kidneys because they don't allow you to stay hydrated.
You're
They
not processing,
dehydrate you
right?
nonstop, and then your kidneys are trying to basically filter motor oil versus nice, good fluid that's heavily hydrated and just can move it through easy. It's an easy filtration system, right?
Right.
Pretty hard to filter motor oil through a coffee filter, but very easy to strain water through a coffee filter.
Right.
That's the process, right? So we need to be able to pull things out. So this was something that I thought would be an awesome topic to talk about in hydrating your kids. And typically how much water should we be drinking a day?
Ideally, like I'm right now we're shooting for 120 ounces, but ideally half of your body weight in ounces is what we're looking for. That is just generalized. If you're athletic, you're going to need to increase that. Coffee does not count. Coffee takes
Coffee
away
negates.
those ounces, right? So anything that you're drinking that has caffeine in it doesn't count. You actually need to double that amount in your water intake.
Yes, so it's 1 ounce of water per every pound of body weight, correct? By half. So if we're 200 pounds, that's 100 pounds. So we should have 100 ounces of water. And then if you were to consume, let's say you consume a cup of coffee, which is 8 ounces, not 12. So most of you consume 20 at a time. So let's say you have 20 ounces of,
You need
of coffee.
140
you need
ounces
140
of
ounces of
water.
water. You need to double the amount of water per caffeine that
Not
you're
all
drinking.
liquid is created equal.
No, it is not. And you're going to urinate like crazy. So, and if you pee and it smells like caffeine, it smells like coffee, you are dehydrated. I'm guilty of that at times. And I'm human and I not that best at doing. I told you, I don't like water that much. So I do whatever I can to stay hydrated. And you do a dang good job of just drinking water. So does
when you
our daughter.
when you hydrate, you're going to notice a difference in your skin, in the elasticity of your skin, the glow of your skin, your hair,
Less
your
joint
complexion, everything. And that's where usually it's kind of like, oh, I can't be dehydrated. Like it's not usually going to end up right away in muscle cramps or achiness or the pasty dry eyes, the tongue, right? Once you get to that, like you're way past dehydration.
You are.
Dehydration sneaks up, like you said, like you feel hungry or you're snacky. Maybe you're more agitated or you can't focus or you're all over the place.
Lightheadedness.
Those are the things that are going to pop up. And when you hear that, if you experience it yourself or your kids are like, they get a headache that they don't ever get. Lots of times, especially if it's summertime, if it's been hot or the humidity's been really high, temperatures all over, you have to think about hydration. And if you can at least do that, that is like medicine cabinet number one. Let's get you hydrated. Lots of times that's going to take care of a whole gamut of things.
Well, you heard it. So let's make it a wet summer and get ourselves hydrated and get outside and be barefoot and just enjoy ourselves and drink lots of water and lots of good things and keep our bodies healthy going into the fall and into the winter. So any other things you want to contribute today, Dr. Julie?
No, I just made me think of a big watermelon. So
I love watermelon. So go out there and get yourself watermelon too. All right. Everybody have a great week. Go out there. Have a wonderful week. Take care, everyone. Bye.